It's time to stop hiding your gifts. It's time to stop hiding your gifts. The world is waiting for your gifts. I'm a seer, empath, clairaudient, clairsentient. I'm an earth angel healer. And one of the things that I've learned about my gifts over the years and honing in on them and developing them is that to lean into those gifts and use them correctly and use them and actually use them when they can actually benefit you. I can remember when I was married, my ex-husband and I, we had a duplex and we had it for like 10 years. I was landlord for 10 years and I decided to sell. And when I went to sell, you go to the settlement table to get your offers, right? And so I remember while we were waiting for everybody to get there, I sat in the chair and I fell into a deep sleep. That fast, I fell into a deep sleep. And this was back in like 90, no, I want to say 2000, maybe early 2000s. And I heard in my spirit 171,000. So when we went to the table, and they were like, well, you have several offers, so we want to let you know which ones are, which one will be the best offer for you as the seller. I said, is there an offer for 171,000? And she looked at the paperwork and she said, well, yes, actually it is. I said, that's the one I'm taking. She said, well, actually, that was the one that we were going to suggest that you take because that's the best and highest offer. And I think it was a cash offer too. And so she said, how did you know? I said, God told me. That's the one we took. And that's the one we took. Another time, there was another time there was I had a client with a monitoring spirit. And I'm wondering, like, we're supposed to be friends, but I'm just like, every time, we're supposed to do friend stuff, you always got an excuse why you can't. But yeah, I'm always seeing you out with somebody else. So I was like, okay, something ain't right here, And so God said, stop telling her your personal business. I said, okay. So the next time she came to get her hair done, I wasn't telling her my personal business. Now, we had conversations that was like on the surface, we had surface conversation, right? I didn't ignore her, okay? But I didn't go deep into like, girl, let me tell you what happened. You know how we do when you're talking to your friends, sis, the tea, right? I wasn't doing any of that. And then the next time she came 2 weeks later, still same thing. I wasn't doing any of that. And then all of a sudden she stopped coming. So I had reached out to her like a month or so later, and I was like, hey, hadn't seen you in a while. Everything good? She was like, yeah, everything's good. I just been traveling a lot. Well, I didn't believe it because she's traveled many times before, but she would always get her hair done before or either after she traveled, depending on where she went. Like if she went to the beach, she would definitely come get her hair done after she went to the beach because, sand is on your hair, whatever. Then, so a few months later, I ran into her at the grocery store. And I was like, well, where you been? Because she been coming to me for like 10 years. I'm like, where you been? What's going on? And she was like, oh, well, the last time I came to get my hair done, you was just like antisocial and it was just real toxic. And I had health challenges going on and I just didn't feel like that. I said, whoa. Any other time you ever had a health challenge, I've always been there for you. So how is it different now? And what do you mean toxic? Because I wasn't running my mouth? Because I was giving just a general conversation? I changed? She was like, you changed. I said, okay. All right. I'll take that. You're right. I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I did change because I stopped telling you my personal business. And God said she was a monitoring spirit. And she would go and talk about me to other people, share my personal business. Thank God for my gift of being a seer and my strong intuition and also as an empath, because I was able to release someone from my life that really wasn't for me. So those gifts that you have, use those gifts. Use those gifts. I think I got another one too. Oh, I remember my daughter got pregnant with my grandson. I remember it was February 2020. And I was like, I had a vision, a dream, a vision that she came up to me with this baby in a baby seat. And I looked at her and I said, whose baby is that? And she said, mine. I said, who did you tell? She said, you're the first person I told. That was February 2020. August of 2020, I just came home from the airport because I was out here, went out of town. And my son had picked me up. And when I pulled up, my daughter and my son-in-law was outside, and my daughter had this sign, but it was closed. And so I'm getting out the car, and my son-in-law's like, oh my gosh, she's skeptical. And I'm like, yeah, because what's going on? I said, you pregnant? Because 2 weeks prior, I had said to her, are you pregnant? And she was like, no. I said, you pregnant? Because she had this beautiful glow. Her booty was spreading. Y'all aunties out there know what I'm talking about. And I said, you pregnant? She was like, Mom, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not having a baby till we buy our house. I said, the baby gonna come when the baby wanna come. Because as long as you practicing, you don't get to control that, right? She opens up the sign, welcome home, glam mama. Now they call me Gigi, you know. But I was screaming like, oh my gosh, my first grandbaby. And I said, I knew it because God had already showed me earlier in the year that I was going to have a grandbaby. And I'm so excited because guess what? 2 weeks ago, my daughter's face broke out really bad. And I was like, are you pregnant? And she was like, no, Mom, I'm not pregnant. I said, you pregnant, and it's a girl. She's like, no, I'm not. Did my daughter not come over to my house last Thursday and was like, Mom, I'm pregnant? I knew it, and it's a girl because she already having different types of symptoms than she did with my grandson. Even though I know every pregnancy is different, but the way she eating and the way she kind of blowing up a little bit already, I said, that's the girl. But anyway, use your gifts because your gifts will either help you, they can save you from heartache, they can save you from danger, but they also can save you from a lot of unnecessary pain and wasted time. So use your gifts. All right, this is Sonia Renee, sipping with Sonia. Bye.